Good morning. It's Mike here. Hope you're having a great day or night. Big relief off my shoulders. I have permanently put Resellers Roundtable Facebook group in archive mode. It was getting crazy over there. Just had to be done. I feel great. I can breathe again. Anyways, guys, in today's video, I'll be showing you guys some things that I sold on eBay and Etsy. I'm also going to answer a viewer's question about which platforms are right for which products. You know, which products, when you get the products, which websites are best for it, or how do you cross list, stuff like that. We'll get into all that. So, beautiful day here in Arizona. Gonna be working on the lawn as well because Batman told me to, and that's what you gotta do when Batman says something, right? Anyways, guys, so hope you're having an amazing day or night. As I said, let's see what we do today. Let's dive into what I sold today. First batch is Etsy. Sold this Swift Eckridge Farms, just a snapback hat, vintage from the 80s. A lot of times you could tell just by the foam on this stuff, but also like the labels. This one here, I bought a huge lot of hats at a garage sale probably a year ago. It's just a massive box I have them in. So I've been pulling them out gradually, cleaning them, restoring them. Some of them I save for, you know, like the hats could be destroyed, but I'll save like the snaps on them if they're good. Because if you find a good hat and their snap's broken on it, you know, I tend to I'll replace it. It's just really easy. You can sew it back in. But anyway, this hat sold on Etsy for $8 plus $4 shipping for a total of $12. Next one here on Etsy is a 1990s Alan Jackson Country Vintage T-shirt, size large. This sold for $21 plus $4 shipping for a total of $25 shipped. Move it over there. All right, the next batch here is all eBay. This is a Sony PlayStation PSP Ratchet and Clank, size matters. The unit, I tried to get it repaired and fixed through my local video game guys. They couldn't get it figured out. The unit does work. It's just you can't play any games. It won't read the discs. So I mentioned that in the comments, you know, in the description. Said, listen, something's wrong with this. It does work though. It does turn on, and if you have a card or you can download or whatever it is, it does work. It came with the games. Came with everything you needed here. Look this up on Amazon if you ever see this. They do pretty well if everything's working correctly. That's why I bought it. I bought it on a local Facebook deal a while back, and I think I had $10 into this, plus I bought a bunch of other Pokemon games and some Game Boy games, some NES stuff. Anyway, I had it up there for $100 at best offer just to see what would happen with it, to see if there was any interest, because you know how gamers are. Maybe they wanted to have this limited edition PSP. So I just said $100 or best offer. Somebody came in, we were negotiating back and forth yesterday. Ended up selling it for $41 shipped, so that's a pretty good little flip there. Happy with that sale, that's for sure. Next one here, good old Chicago Lou Malnati's Pizza employee t-shirt. It's from the 80s, and see, it's got the old Russell athletic tag on there. I just put in there, you know, Lou Malnati's Pizzeria, Chicago, Illinois, USA vintage employee t-shirt, small. And this took literally 3 weeks to sell on eBay for a total of $15 shipped. Gotta love that Lou Malnati's pizza. That's some good stuff, boys and girls. Good stuff. Deep dish. Next one here is, this took 2 weeks to sell. I believe I showed this at some point in a video. Tommy Bahama Relax Island Modern Fit Handlebar Bike Wines graphic t-shirt, size large. Kind of like a dark gray t-shirt here. This one sold for $9.75 shipped. I paid $1 for that at the thrift store. What do we got here? Oh, here. Somebody on eBay was messaging me back and forth like, hey, can you just lower their price a little bit on these shoes? I want to buy them. You know, I promise I'll buy them before 4 o'clock. And usually when you get messages like that, you know, you're kind of like, oh, yeah. I said, you know, just buy it, you know, whenever you get a chance to make the purchase, you know. We'll give you a discount, no problem. Had 11 watchers on these. These are Nike Air Royal Mid Bronze Chilling Red Black men's shoes, size 13. I showed you guys this in a video at some point. Cleaned up these, restored these. They look pretty nice with the leather and the suede. I think I did a pretty good job on that. Hopefully the buyer's happy. But paid $4.99 for these, or $2.99, one of the two. I don't remember. Anyways, we sold it for $27 plus $14 shipped for a total of $41. So good money in shoes, that's for sure. The next one here. Here we go. Had this for a while on eBay, I want to say close to 6 or 7 months. It is a Chicago Blackhawks NHL Hockey 80s Swingster Satin Vintage Jacket, size medium/large. Kind of, similar to like the starter jackets. What's unique about this one is it actually had the stitching on the back. A lot of times you'll find these older 80s and 90s Swingster jackets, and they'll just have like a patch right on the chest and nothing on the back. So when you find the stuff that's got the back patches or the back lettering like that, they'll bring a little bit more money. Again, this one just sat out there. I think I had it for like $60 or $75 shipped. Anyway, it was on sale and it sold for $37.53. I paid $2 for this at, I believe it was Goodwill sometime back. So the package is up, guys, and we'll talk soon. Got a question here from Thrift Miner. How do you decide what to sell on eBay versus Etsy or vice versa? Great question there, Thrift Miner. Appreciate you leaving the comment. I appreciate all you guys leave comments. Been asked this a lot lately, and I think, the best way to describe this is that if, whatever you're looking at, whatever widget it is, what I basically do is this, is if it's vintage, right, I already have a niche store on Etsy for that. Or if I'm doing niche stuff on eBay, that's where that's going to go to, right? But a lot of times, if you look at things, because eBay is, okay, you got eBay, then you got Amazon, right? eBay, in terms of like vintage, used stuff, is massive, okay? There's so many, there could be like, let's just say this hat, Schlitz hat. There could be 100 of the same hat on eBay, and all the prices can range from $6 to $40, right? And a lot of times, buyers, they're going to price compare, they're just not going to click and just do an impulse buy. They're going to do a little homework on something like this, maybe. That's what I would do. So with something like this, I would just say, let me throw on Etsy. And typically this is what I do, right? If I'll go on Etsy, I'll list on Etsy, and what I'll do is a price comparison. I'll just look at an eBay. And if I see, okay, everybody's selling for $8, $9, $10, I'll put it out there for $15 shipped on Etsy. Because Etsy's got a different clientele, right? People will just, will favorite, they'll just buy it. A lot of times what I've noticed is price really isn't an issue to some extent. I mean, I'm not trying to rip people off, but majority of what I sell on Etsy is a lot more than what it goes for on eBay, right? Another example of this is like vinyl records. You can sell vinyl records on pretty much every platform, eBay, Etsy, Amazon. For me, I basically, what I do is I don't even sell vinyl records unless it's extremely rare. Then I might throw it on eBay. But if it's like just run-of-the-mill stuff, like what I've been selling, I just run it through my Etsy store. And then I do a cross-listing between Etsy and Amazon, right? So I'll have it merchant filled in Amazon. And there's softwares, guys, you can use that are out there. Maybe I'll go into a whole other video about that, about, buying into these softwares. And what it'll do is it'll manage it, on eBay, Etsy, Amazon. So once it sells, it automatically removes it from the two that it didn't sell from. Does that make any sense? But I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with that and think, oh my gosh, I want to mimic my eBay store into Etsy. And, if you don't have a software there and you're selling some stuff, it can get confusing where like you could sell it on eBay, forget to delete it on Etsy, and then, 6 months down the road, somebody buys it on Etsy. I hear this all the time. I've heard it in Facebook groups, heard it here on YouTube. But really, it's just finding the market where you think intelligently, what's the best shot for this product, the best comparison I can say is, with Etsy, yeah, there's a lot of people selling on Etsy, but compared to eBay, it's, what is it? It's probably 20% of the products that are basically on eBay is what Etsy is, right? So there's not that much competition compared to what you're finding out there. So if it's vintage, if it's, obviously it's handmade, Etsy would be the place for that. eBay, there's things that only sell on eBay, like for example, I think Nerf guns is one of them. Even though you can sell Nerf guns on Mercari and Amazon, vintage ones maybe into Etsy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, vintage stereos, what I think would be another one where you could sell that on all the platforms, really. I mean, with Amazon too, guys, is, a lot of people think, oh, you can't sell any vintage or used things on Amazon. You can create your own listings, and you could put any item you really want to on Amazon if you think about it. So again, it's just making a educated decision on your buy and your purchase, looking at your buy and going, okay, where is this at? If you first look at eBay going, okay, maybe eBay is the opportunity for me here, and you see, oh my gosh, there's 100 of these, troll dolls on here, and the lowest one, I don't know how this person's making any money. So you can either say, okay, let me just raise my price and let it sit there, right? Or just find another avenue for it. I mean, there's a lot of avenues outside of the eBay and the Etsy and the Amazon. You got Mercari. There's just, the list goes on. You got Poshmark. All these places. So just get creative with it. Find the loophole of where you can make the most money for that item and run with it. Hopefully I answered your question. Really appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate all of you guys that leave comments. Do you hear that? It's the cricket. I don't know what that cricket's doing, but I can't get rid of him. I can't find out where he's at. You hear it? All day, all night. Then you walk over there and you stomp your feet and he stops for a second. Oh, so annoying. Appreciate you guys watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the thumbs up. Having fun making these videos here, and hopefully I'm providing some value to you guys here. I'll be doing a lot more answering of questions that I see through the feeds here, and give you that one-on-one time with answering a question, because there's a lot of questions, and you know, there's always questions. That's the thing about reselling. That's, you know, nobody has all the answers to it all, and I've never claimed to. I just always try to say, listen, this is, you know, what works for me and what's helped me out, and maybe I can pass it along to you. So, guys, go out there, keep listening, keep making the money. Don't give up on this. Just keep pushing forward. Pedal to the metal. Make it happen. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace. Vlog over.